Okay, so the last example that I want to give you is a little different because I have a subtraction sign inside my parentheses, not an addition sign. So I'm actually going to show you how to deal with this two different ways. So right now I need to recognize that this says 5 times the quantity of 2x minus 4. I want to multiply all of the terms inside my parentheses by 5. So I'm going to just go ahead and use these little symbols here to remind me to multiply everything in the parentheses by 5. And so I could rewrite this as 5 times 2x. And because that's a minus sign, I'm just going to put the minus sign here. And then 5 times 4. All right, so all I did was I took each term inside those parentheses and I multiplied it by 5. Now I can go ahead and do this math. I can simplify this a little bit. 5 times 2x is 10x, and I'll just have this remain a subtraction sign there, and 5 times 4 is 20. So I get as my answer, or as my equivalent expression, I get 10x minus 20. So that's one way to deal with it. I want you to think about this in a separate way, just to recognize that there's a couple of ways to think about this problem. I'm going to rewrite the same problem, 5 times 2x minus 4. And I want to remind you that when you have a subtraction sign, it's the same thing as adding a negative, right? We've talked about that many, many times. So I'm going to rewrite this problem right here. Instead of subtracting a 4, I'm going to rewrite it as adding a negative 4. All right? So that is the same problem as this, just written as an addition of the opposite problem. So now I'm going to go ahead and see what happens if I use the distributive property. Now I'm going to have 5 times 2x, and now I have an addition sign, so I'm going to put plus, and then 5 times negative 4. 5 times my negative 4. I'm going to put that in parentheses just so we recognize that that's a negative there. Okay, so 5 times 2x gives us 10x plus 5 times negative 4 gives us a negative 20. And so I want you to look at the two different expressions that I got. I have 10x minus 20 and 10x plus negative 20. Those expressions are equivalent. They say the same thing, just written in a slightly different way. So you can think about when you're doing the distributive property and you have a subtraction problem as opposed to an addition problem, you could think about just keeping that as a subtraction problem all the way through. You could think about changing it to addition of the opposite. And on throughout practice, sometimes one way is easier than the other. And so we will have lots of times to practice that and decide which strategy makes the most sense for your problem.